Principal Secretary Beatrice Inyangala has addressed the National Assembly today, highlighting the problematic criteria underpinning the government's new education funding model. During the session, she and her team faced scrutiny over the funding system, which has sparked widespread discontent among Kenyans. Here is more on the same.
Is there a disconnect between what the ministry is saying and what the universities are doing?
In the National Assembly today, a heated debate unfolded as lawmakers tackled the mounting questions surrounding the new university funding model. Speaker Moses Wetangula had warned last week that this issue needed thorough examination. With growing concerns over the funding process and program costs, members of parliament voiced fears that the lack of clarity could block countless young Kenyans from pursuing higher education.
You have had to call a Kamukunji to explain it to members of parliament. These members of parliament are good consumers of media. They are very well versed with what is happening on the ground, but they still do not understand this funding model, Mr. Speaker, meaning that the communication that we are being given here today is not trickling down to the ground.
We have not heard to what extent does this data is being unbundled through the system and how much is a human intervention. That's why you have a problem that people who are supposed to be in bundle 1, they are now in bundle 4 and 5. Mr. Speaker, I think before the Chancellor's communication, I think you need to address the clear forums of communication.
I think we have communicated that it's a process. Honorable Member KJ, you raised the issue of communication, and that is what I'm addressing. And I'm saying communication is a process. All of you have even heard His Excellency the President talk about the new funding model, but I think it's a process, and that's we are engaging in that process.
Mr. Speaker, I think it is high time we acknowledge that this system is quite a mess. We must go back to the drawing board. We are wasting the life and the future of our children, and these people who are entrusted with information dissemination should be fired with immediate effect because they are doing a lot of nothing to our country.
The Ministry of Education reported that over 100,000 students have applied for the new university funding model, with 127,623 already enrolled. Higher Education Principal Secretary announced that the application period is open until December 21st, 2024. This model shifts from the old block funding approach to a more personalized system aimed at better addressing individual needs.
Point in enrolling a student going to university and he doesn't have anywhere to sleep. Will he sleep on the streets?
Kitty, and such universities are supporting students with challenges in accommodation.
And also because it will allow students who did not have a chance to apply or who did not have the necessary documentation to apply a chance to be able to apply within reasonable time. Thank you.
The newly introduced funding framework seeks to address disparities by offering financial aid customized to individual student needs. At the heart of this model is the means testing instrument designed to assess students' financial situations based on family income to allocate appropriate support. However, Education Principal Secretary has flagged a major concern about incurrencies in the income data that have impeded the accurate assessment of students' financial needs.
The Speaker make a pronouncement to the Cabinet Secretary or the President to make a pronouncement to the children of Kenya that they all report to the university and do the necessary documentation. The documentation can be done in the university, the accommodation can be sorted out.
The discrepancy in funding allocation challenges the Ministry of Education's ability to target resources to those in genuine need. The government is urging students to apply before the extended deadline of the 21st of December 2024. Meanwhile, the ministry is working to improve income data accuracy to better align financial aid with the actual needs. These efforts follows complaints that some students have been incorrectly categorized into unaffordable funding bands.
And the failures components that constitutes a family, of course, the family structure parameter is a big one, which considers single parenthood, orphans, children, and of course the size of the family is considered. How does it play out? Through
we call in government collective responsibility. This is just one department under the ministry. Why is the department which is handled by the PS before the House today not involving the other departments? The other department under the ministry